Hi everyone, I have to be honest with you, I have been bad at my job. Even though the Gantt view in Asana was released a couple of weeks ago, I actually never tried it. So we thought with the team it would be interesting to look at me unbox the Gantt feature for the first time and try it out in front of your eyes and maybe discover things together. So what I've done is I created an empty project and also I asked ChatGPT for a task list. So I'm just going to get a task list. Okay, let's go. So as you know, at the top of the screen, you have different tabs. Those are called saved views and you can remove them if you want. You can rename them, you can do whatever you want. Actually, I'm going to do some cleanup and then you can add the Gantt view. It's not there by default yet. Maybe that's going to come. Okay, so that's the Gantt view. So the first thing we will have to understand is the difference between Timeline and Gantt. I know that Asana released a blog post explaining the differences and I'm going to have a look at this a little bit later. Okay, so let's have a look. So first, that's a bit surprising that they show me with an untitled section. I would expect things to not be in a section at all, but yeah, whatever works, that's fine. You can open the task right there, that's good. You can rename, okay, just like in list view. It's interesting that the date field became a date range. I guess it does make sense. Okay, so let's try and choose a couple of dates. Right there, can I choose a single date? Yes, I can. Oh, it's actually sorting by start date by default, which messes up with my list, but that's I guess that's fine. Okay, so that looks pretty cool. You can see something that the timeline view didn't have, which is the section duration. You can see this section, and I guess that's the reason why they actually decided to place everything in a section. They compute the date range automatically. They compute the duration automatically as well, which is something you would have had to do with a formula. And also you see how long the section takes. So let's try and create another section. Something like important. Oh, actually I can't move stuff. See, I have to go there. Important. Okay, and if I put dates on here as well, let me try. Here we go. Okay, so apparently they give random colors. So let's have a look. How do you change the color of a section? I guess that's not possible. It's potentially decided by Asana themselves. Okay, that's okay. But the good thing is, if you close everything down, you see how long the section takes. That's super exciting. This is something we didn't have in Timeline. Okay, what about if I save, if I go to Timeline and go back, it's still closed. Amazing. That's pretty cool. You can add new tasks to section. Oh, actually, can you use task templates? Let's try. I'm going to create a task template real quick. Actually, they're here. I'm going to call this one T1. Here we go. Oh, you can even use task templates. Amazing. Okay, cool. So what else? You can see the assignee right there. You can see the duration. You can click on a task. That's fine. And just like in timeline view, you can actually create dependencies. So I guess it looks exactly the same. You can move stuff around. So that's pretty good. Let's have a look at the different options. Gantt option. You can highlight the critical path if you define dates and dependencies correctly. What about auto schedule task? Automatically assign dates to new tasks. Oh, okay. So if I create a new task, I'm going to get dates. Okay, interesting. 1st of January next month. Okay, yeah, why not? I guess that's the only way to see something right away on the screen. Otherwise, it doesn't appear anywhere and you can't really expand the task. So that could be interesting. That allows you to create tasks in specific spots. Okay, cool. And something I've seen slideshows about this, it's the baseline. That's super exciting. So it doesn't really work right now because I just created the project, but let's say I created the project like a month ago. I could actually go in the past and have a look at how the project looked last week, for example. So in that case, I'm not sure what it means because the project was not created. But if you try on your own project and if you already have some past data, I think that's gonna look much better. But you can see the base. Oh, actually, I know what I'm seeing is the actual project right now, and we show the baseline, but nothing actually shows up. That would be much better with an actual project. I don't have one right now. Okay, in terms of save button, that's the regular one. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I don't see many differences with the timeline view. You still have the swim lane. I guess visually it looks a bit different. You have the section duration, but this is something that they could have implemented in the timeline view. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Asana blog if I can and see what they have to say about this. Okay, I wasn't really prepared to have a look, so I guess I'll share the link in the description. But yeah, that's pretty exciting. To me, that's an improved version of the timeline. I don't really see myself choosing one over the other just yet. Maybe they're going to add new things down the road to make it more obvious. But at the moment, it looks quite good, and I think it can definitely replace the timeline we already have. That was unboxing the Genview. I wish you a very pleasant day.